Are we on mute? All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming out tonight. And I want to also welcome those who are with us via our Zoom meeting as well. My name is Stephen Wilder. I'm the principal here at Monticello High School. I am glad to see you here, and I'm glad that you were able to have a tour of the building, get a little acclimated to what the building looks like, where things are. We are very excited about the completion of our renovation project. We're still finishing up some of the areas. Some of you walked by and are interested in our dance program. Our dance studio is going to be opening up later this week, and we're still going to be adding to it. There are other portions of our building that we're continuously upgrading because it is all about the student experience. We want our students to have an incredible experience and have an opportunity to engage with interests that they may want to pursue in the future, because the industries that are currently active and open and available to our students now, they're going to change. And we need to make sure that we create programs that are going to change with it and prepare our students for whatever those opportunities are going to bring. And while there's a lot of transferable skills, things that our students are going to need to be able to know and be able to do, there are going to be things they're just going to have to be able to figure out. And so providing them with the skills and those abilities to do that is going to be really important. And so that's what we're aiming to do here at Monticello High School. And I am excited to be joined by Mrs. Lagarde, one of our 9th grade counselors, who's going to be guiding you through the orientation tonight. Ms. Huesdale is the other 9th grade counselor. She's unable to be with us tonight, but she is a terrific addition to our team. And I'm sure there are going to be some of you in this room that are going to get to know her very well. Because as 9th graders, Ms. Lagarde and Ms. Huesdale will split the students into blue team and panther team, and make sure that we are guiding you on your high school journey. And I'm also joined by our lead guidance counselor, Mrs. Mans. She has been here with the district for 42 years, and we are so glad to have her with us tonight. She's going to be supporting Mrs. Lagarde in the presentation, and at the end of this presentation or orientation, there will be time for questions and answers, and the two of them are a wealth of knowledge and will be able to answer those questions. So as they come up, write them down, text them to yourself, and we'll make sure to address them at the end of the orientation. So I hope that you enjoy it, that you get your answers or excuse me, questions answered. And if not, please see us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wilder. So I said I'm Ms. Lagarde, I'm one of the 9th grade counselors, and I'm so excited that you guys are here. This is our first in-person orientation since COVID. And we're doing it virtually and in person. So for those that are at home, if you have any questions, you guys can type it in the chat, and at the end, we'll read the questions out loud in case anyone here has the same question. So feel free, as you have the questions, to type in the chat, and then we'll address them at the end. And looking for all of you here in person. If you have any questions at the end, we will address them for you guys. So, as you guys can see, you guys are the class of 2027. Seems really far away, I promise. It'll be here very quickly. 9th grade is such an important year because it really is the building block and foundation of your high school career. And for some of you guys might be taking high school classes in 8th grade, and those classes end up in your transcript. So we're going to go over Mr. Wilder. I'm not very tech savvy for a moment. Okay.
Batteries are working. That's the first thing you should check when it's not working.
Okay, so first time we're going to go over some personnel. So who's who in the building? We're going to go over the student. Thank you. We're going to go to the student center and guidance and who is in the guidance suite. We're going to go over graduation requirements as well as subjects, and how you guys are very interested in. We're going to go over some scheduling. So as you progress into the high school, and then after when you get into 10th, 11th, 12th, you have options that you can take, and you guys have a choice in some of the classes you get to take. So we're going to go over some of those options that you guys will have for next year. So as you all met Mr. Wilder, we also have our assistant principal, Ms. Boardman. She couldn't be here tonight as well. We typically have 2 assistant principals, so next year there will be somebody new, but Miss Boardman is our current assistant principal. So I brought Mrs. Mans because she is retiring at the end of this year, so she's not on the list. But we have 4 guidance counselors who are the upper class. So what happens is when you come into 9th grade, Ms. Truesdale and myself have you for 9th grade, we have you for your transition year. You will be either on the Panther team with myself or the blue team with Ms. Truesdale. It does not go by alphabetical order, it really gets random. So you'll find out in September or in August, we will have, after 9th grade year, you will go on to your counselors, we will have for 10th, 11th, and 12th. They will follow you all through graduation. And that is Mrs. Steinberg, Mr. Seidel, and Mr. Menino. That does get broken down by last name. So depending on what your last name starts with, what kind of you have for 10th, 11th, and 12th. So what we do in the guidance suite. So with the guidance counselor. Oh. Okay. Didn't have herself here. So we do in the guidance suite. Oh. We monitor your academic progress. So for the 9th grade, we meet with every student at a minimum of every 5 weeks. So we have progress reports and we have report cards that Ms. Truesdale and myself stand outside your classroom and we call you out one by one. And we go over what your report card looks like, what your progress report looks like, what you're doing well, what you might need some help in. We go over tutorials. You might say, hey, you know what? The science teacher is staying after on Thursdays. It's a good idea for you to stay after. We'll talk about eligibility. If you're ineligible for a sport, we might say, this is what you can do to get some support so you can play in that basketball game, be in that wrestling match. We also do social and personal issues. So if you are having a problem at home, maybe you're not seeing eye to eye with a teacher, have an issue with a friend, your peers, anything like that, we have an open door policy. So as long as our door is open, you're more than welcome to come in and talk with us. We do a lot of mediation. So if you're having issues with a friend, maybe not a friend, just somebody in the building, we sit down together and we kind of talk it out and we try to resolve the issue. So we'll always be there for that. So when you think about graduation, there's 3 things that we would like you to do after graduation, and it's our goal to set you up for success. We want to see one option would be to go to college, another would be the military, or to go straight into the workforce in a job that you'd be able to live off of with a reasonable wage. So we will go over career and vocational planning. And we'll see, as you progress to high school, we'll see which one of those paths is best suited for you, and we will guide you in how to get there successfully. Every path for success is different for each student. We'll do college planning and testing and placement. So standardized tests, ACTs, SATs, PSATs, things like that. If you think of military and take the test, we will help set that up for all of you. So graduation requirements. So we'll go over a little bit of the pathways off of the graduation, but this is the pathway that everybody starts on. We're going to go over credits, courses, and testing, so Regents exams. So every student must earn 22 credits in order to graduate with the New York State High School Diploma, and we will break down the courses that are required. So you need 4 credits of English, 4 credits of social studies, 3 credits of science, and 3 credits of math. If you were thinking college, if you were thinking there's a specific job that you want to be, maybe you want to be a nursing assistant, we will always encourage you to go above and beyond those minimum credits, depending on what you think you might want to do in the future. So this is just the minimum requirement for graduation. So you also need 1 credit of music and or art. So next year, you most likely will fulfill that credit, and you will also be able to choose which class you would like to take. You need half a credit of health, which you'll take later on in your high school career. Foreign language, you need 1 credit. So some of you might be in, I know recently they've been calling it Spanish Elevate. Is that what it's on now still? Or maybe in a Spanish 1. What's the thing about it?
No, I did. I'm sorry.
Might be Spanish 1. That is a high school credit bearing class. So the grade that you get in 8th grade in that class will go on your high school transcript. So it's really important that you take the class serious. If you're having trouble, reach out to your guidance counselor that you have this year for support. Reach out to the teacher, because that will be going on your high school transcript, which will go on to colleges, military, a job, things like that. You need 2 credits of PE, you'll take a half a credit every year, 4 years that you're here, and then you need 3.5 credits of elective. So elective is anything above and beyond the minimum. So if you're in chorus and you take chorus next year in 9th grade, that will fulfill the music art credit. If you take chorus again in 10th grade, that additional credit will be an elective. So this is just the minimum. Many of you will graduate far more than 22, but this is the minimum requirement. So Regents exam. You need 1 science, you either take that in 8th grade or 9th grade. You need the algebra, which you could take in 8th, 9th, or 10th. You'll have a global studies, which you'll take in 10th grade, US history in 11th grade, and ELA also in 11th grade as well. So testing requirements. So in order to successfully pass the Regents and get the credit for graduation, you need to receive a 65 or higher. If for some reason you think that you might have a special circumstance, please reach out to us and we can have that conversation, but in general, it's 65 or higher to receive the credit for the Regents exam. So 2 types of diploma. So everything that we just went over with the 22 credits and those 5 Regents exams will earn you a Regents diploma. We will always encourage our students and push our students to work towards an advanced Regents diploma. So you'll see it is all the same 22 credits, it's the same makeup. We also there's a couple more Regents exams. So on top of the algebra, science, global studies, US history, and ELA, you will need a geometry Regents, algebra 2 and trig, an additional science Regents, and you'll see on the bottom that has foreign language. We'll also go over some other ways in a couple minutes, different pathways that you can also receive an advanced Regents diploma or a Regents diploma. So pathways for graduation. So everyone when they come in 9th grade, you all start on the same pathway, and as you progress through your high school career, it'll start getting individualized, and we're able to have individual conversations on which pathway is best for you. So this is just an overall really quick review. So for art, you can substitute with 5 credits of art or music for a foreign language. CTE is through, Fulton County goes into the CTEC program. The civics is built into our government program that we have that students take in 12th grade. We have humanities, which is an additional social studies or ELA course that has a Regents exam attached to it. Then, as well as you take an additional science or math that has a Regents attached to it, additional credit with a Regents attached to it. And then the world language, which is taking 3 credits and taking a Regents equivalency after that. And like I said, as you progress through the high school, you'll have individual conversations with the students about which pathway will be best for them. So, time also for the fun part for you guys. So right now we're going to go over some options of classes that you guys can elect to take in 9th grade. We'll be pushing into your classrooms in this month sometime February, and myself and Ms. Truesdale will kind of give you the same presentation, and then we'll have you fill out a form. In the form, you guys can pick which class you believe will be best suited for you, and we will also give recommendations from your teachers as well. So for math, students will either be going into algebra. If you're in algebra now in 8th grade, you will continue on to geometry. So if you're in math 8 this year, next year your 3 options would be to go into algebra or algebra with lab. The lab is an extra support class to help support you because there will be a Regents at the end of the year, and it's to help make sure you have the building blocks so you can successfully pass the Regents. And foundations of algebra. It's intended for students who might need extra support and math might not be ready to take the Regents in 9th grade, and to give them a better chance of success with the Regents, you take foundations of algebra in 9th grade, and then 10th grade you take algebra 1. And if you're in algebra in 8th grade in the middle school, you will be going into either geometry or geometry lab, and that's the same concept. If there is a Regents attached to it, the lab just gives you extra support. So for science, if you are in science 8, you'll be going into living environment next year. If you're in living environment this year in 8th grade, you'll be going into earth science in 9th grade. And they both have Regents exams attached to them as well. So for English, as I said, you need 4 credits of ELA. You'll start with English 9. Our 2 options is English 9 and English 9 honors placement. So we go off of teacher recommendation. However, we do like the students' input if they feel like they have done well in 8th grade and they feel like they're up for the challenge. And they are allowed to elect to see if honors is a good placement for them. And we have conversations with the parents, with the student, and their teacher of record this year to see if that is a good fit. Typically, we want to see students have 85 or higher throughout the year in 8th grade. Read 180. So Read 180 is a program that we have in high school and we also have in the middle school that helps support students who may need support in reading. Reading is the foundation of all the courses that you will have. You think about math, you have reading in it. So it's really important that we help students get up to grade level and higher so they can be successful during their high school career and after they graduate. The grades will go based off of the NWEA scores. We always tell students to please take them serious. Sometimes students come in the fall and they tell us, I don't want to be Read 180, I didn't take the test serious. We have to go based off of here, and it shows the student needs support. It's not an optional class, they can't test out at that time. So they will be in Read 180, and it's not a punishment, it's to help support. And they will do reading assessments throughout the year too to kind of see where you fall and see the growth. So social studies, like English, you need 4 credits and it runs the same. So everybody will be in English 9, you can either be in English, or sorry, social studies 9 class or the social studies honors 9 placement. The English honors and the social studies honors covers the same program, however, it moves a lot quicker, a lot faster. So like I said, students can elect when they do the form, they can elect to take it, and we will talk to the teacher, we'll talk to the parent to see if it is a good fit for them. So language other than English, we offer Spanish here at the high school. If you are in native speakers this year in 8th grade, you can continue with native speakers in the high school. If you are in MS Spanish, Spanish 8, you will go into Spanish 1 next year as a 9th grader. And then if you are in Spanish 1 and you successfully pass the class and the proficiency exam, you get high school credit and you move on to Spanish 2. One of the questions that we get asked a lot when a student successfully passes Spanish 1 in 8th grade is if they can drop Spanish 2. I always have conversations with the parents, and that's for 2 reasons. So it gives them gets them on track for an advanced reading diploma. It's one of the pathways that we spoke about earlier. And even if they do choose to go a different pathway, it's important for colleges. So colleges, student schools, for example, typically want to see about 3 years of a foreign language. So we never want to cut their chances short in 9th grade by not having them continue. And Spanish, and colleges like to see that you are committing to something that is not easy. And learning another language is not easy. So it looks good on their resume, on the transcript, things like that. Of course, there are times that dropping it would be best for the student. We'll have those individual conversations. But I do like to mention that we do like to support the students to continue so that they can work towards the college if that's what they choose to do. So P, as I said, it'll take half a credit every year. We have gym for 50 for 40 minutes every other day. One question we get asked a lot too is if they can add a second PE in their schedule. Unfortunately, they cannot because you would be very filled. But they will take that every year. And one thing that as we move forward into high school is just make sure that you have gym shoes and not Crocs. So now for some electives. So the ones that we're going to go over first are going to fulfill the art and or music requirement. You will be asking your 9th grade that you choose one of these classes that you get the graduation requirement out of the way. So everything I go over now will fit in that criteria. When you fill out the form, you will be able to select your first elective and a second elective. Most 9th grade students only fit 1 elective in their schedule. However, if it allows them to fit 2, then we will be able to fit 2. We'll go over some other options as well that they have. So studio art. Studio art is our basic art class that we have. It's the first class for this We have drawing and painting, ceramics, things like that, and this is a prerequisite. So if you're interested in art and you think you might want to continue, or you might want to choose as your pathway towards graduation, this would be a good place for you to start. Performing arts. If you are currently in band, orchestra, chorus, you can continue that here in the high school. We also have performance skills. So if you're not in band, chorus, or orchestra and you are interested in learning an instrument, this is a really good place that we encourage students to start because you get to learn to play an instrument. We did the piano or guitar, and they teach you how to read and write music. And oftentimes those students who have never been in band, but they're interested, they go into this program and then they are able to learn instruments so they can eventually go on and join bands. We have dance lunch. As Mr. Wilder said, we just have our dance room going to be opening up soon. We have a dance program here. Dance one will be the first class that you would take. If you do have outside, if you do dance outside of school and you think that you might be a higher up dance class, we reach out to the dance teacher and they will evaluate to see what would be the appropriate dance class that we have for polio. So technology. So technology also fulfills the art or music requirement. Our first tech class is design and drawing for production. So it's technical drawing, it's drawing fine lines. If you're interested in construction or anything like that, this is the first class that we always suggest that you start with. They do a lot in there, and we have like wood manufacturing. They built the picnic tables that are outside for a while. We also have, I don't know if you guys were able to see it, but the technology shop that we have in there that is brand new. So these classes fulfill the art, what they fulfill the art and music. So does anybody have any questions on those? I know I see a lot of phones up too. I know we're off. You guys are more than free to take pictures, but we're also recording it too. And we'll post it on the website so you guys have access to the PowerPoint. Okay, so Academy of Finance, we have here in the high school. It's nationally accredited. So which means that when you put one of these classes on a high school transcript, it's not something that just somebody in Monticello would know. Colleges will recognize the Academy of Finance. There are 2 classes that students can take here in high school as freshmen for next year. We only typically put these classes in their schedule if they're able to fit a second elective as next year, because we like to get the graduation requirements out of the way. The Academy of Finance entrepreneurship class is one of the classes that we offered. It is how to manage and run a small business. So we'll go over business plan, how to do payroll. If you're interested in being an entrepreneur, this would be a good class to start at. And along with that, we have delivering great customer service and marketing. So one of the very big important parts of being a business owner is having great customer service. They say like Disney World has a great customer service because it's the happiest place in the world. So it's very important that you're able to talk to people, you're able to deal with conflict, how to resolve conflict in a professional way. So that class will go over that. So Academy of Finance Entrepreneurship and delivering great customer service. And Sue Berenberg is one of the teachers for the class, and she sent me a video that I'm gonna play for you guys to just kind of get a little idea of what the Academy of Finance is about, as you can take it throughout your whole high school career here.
To describe the Academy of Finance in one word, I say it's opportunity. Balance.
Networking,
Learn.
tenacity,
Education. Connections.
The Academy of Finance is a high school program that prepares students to be future ready. Academy classes, together with high school core curriculum, teaches students to become future ready. By instilling confidence, values, ethics, and dress code, students will be prepared to function successfully in an adult world. Students collaborate and work as part of a team. Students feel a sense of community within the classroom that many have described as a second family. Guest speakers, including alumni, share real-life experiences and make connections with the students. All of this opens a pathway for success. Field trips enrich the classroom experience.
the teaching team, along with our advisory board, work to keep pace with the changing economy, both locally and globally. As a result, we have added courses including customer service, hospitality, tourism, and sustainable tourism. We continue to offer courses in personal finance, international business, accounting, and entrepreneurship. We encourage all students who desire to explore career paths, experience learning outside the classroom, participate in paid summer internships, earn national certification, make connections with an adult mentor, and prepare income tax returns for their community to become part of Monticello High School's Academy of Finance.
Our advisory board provides valuable input and structure in our program. Members mentor high school seniors, obtain job shadow opportunities, internship placement, provide financial support, and share life experiences. Are you future ready? Join the Academy of Finance and graduate future ready. Thanks to the Academy of Finance, I am future ready. I am future ready. I am future ready.
I am future ready. I am future ready. I am future ready.
I am future ready. Future ready. Listen.
No. And just to add too, with the Academy of Finance, I know this year Ms. Berenberg had done a really cool thing where she had students who were in the Academy of Finance and have gone on to be successful come back into the classroom this year and talk to the students. It's important for the students to see themselves in the future, to see that I can be that person, I can be successful because they are all capable. So she does a really great job and there's a lot of opportunity through that program. So that's something that you're interested in. Even if we are not able to fit in your schedule next year, definitely let myself and Ms. Truesdale know so that we can incorporate that moving forward into your high school career. So one option that is available if you're in Algebra 1 this year and you successfully pass the Regents exam, you do have the option, if you have room in your schedule, to go into Introduction to Computer Science. For our bell schedules, we have a 9-period day. Our day starts at 7:31 and ends at 2:15. The doors open around 7:05 for students to come into the building. It is very important to come on time. Deadlines are important. Deadlines are something that you will have your whole entire life. It is a life skill. Being on time is a life skill, so it is very important, especially in the high school. We have students who come in and they'll say 10 minutes late and think that it's not a big deal. However, you miss 10 minutes of instruction that morning. And if it happens more than once, you miss 20, 30, 40 minutes of instruction. So it's really important that students are present in school and they're on time. We also have 3 lunch periods in our day. They are random, they don't get broken down by grade. Those things we are not able to switch lunch periods, supposed to do friends, things like that, because the cafeteria does get busy and there's sides we have to adhere to. So here's our contact information. This is my email, fieldguard@mcsc.net, as well as my extension, which is 10963. And Ms. Truesdale, her extension is 10953. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions at all, you're always, of course, more welcome to email your HR account, but you can also email us directly, and we would love to help answer your question. Especially as you guys go home tonight and in the next coming days, you talk about classes that your child may want to take. And you have questions about what might be best for them. This is what they want to do. What should they take? Please don't hesitate to give us a call, email us. That's what we're here for. And we really love to get to know them before they come in the building. Any questions on it?
Oh, before we get to that,
Yeah.
let me
Oh,
say something.
yes.
We want to back up one slide and go previous one. So as I'm listening, I'm always a student, doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter how old you are, students. There's always opportunities to learn and take notes, things like that. And this is the second time actually today that I've attended a event. And earlier today, for our Student of Distinction Award, so for students coming up, you can aspire to become one of our Students of Distinction. We had an award ceremony, we have it each quarter, and there is one student nominated per department each marking period. And so we celebrate about 11 or 12 students each marking period at a special ceremony. And at that ceremony today, I was taking notes too. So this is just to show you students that it doesn't just happen in class. It's to be successful, it's going to happen lifelong. So there's a couple things that I want to mention. We were just talking about attendance, and Ms. Lagarde mentioned that yes, being late definitely adds up, but there's going to be some shocks to the system for some students. At the high school level, you need to make sure that you are earning your credits towards graduation, okay? In middle school, you need to do well, but there are times that you're going to be promoted to the next grade, even if you don't pass A class or all of your classes. That ends at the high school. You need to accumulate credits to get to the next grade level, all right? And we want to make sure that each and every single one of you in here are going to be earning those credits that you need. Because while in ninth grade, there's a pretty standard stock of courses that all of our freshmen take. There is an opportunity for some unique types of classes. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are successful in those classes early on, so that later in high school, you can choose the classes you want to take. Because we have an incredible college in the classroom program, and there are students who graduate with 30 college credits. That's no joke. You can graduate with 30 college credits, 20 college credits, and there are a lot of really exceptional opportunities to explore that. In addition, outside of our college courses, there are just a lot of different experiences, journeys that you can participate in. But you will not have those opportunities unless you take care of the responsibilities early on. So make sure that you are getting those classes passed. Going back to the absences, please. Excessive absences will jeopardize not only your ability to perform well in classes, because if you're not there, you're not learning, right? It's hard to get the information you're not there to hear about and practice. But in addition, at the high school level, if you miss too many classes, you cannot earn credit. All right. So attendance is really important, not just for your performance, but also for even an opportunity to earn credit in that class. So make sure that you are coming to class on time each and every day. In addition, there's something I like to talk to students about. It's called the difference between an abundance and scarcity mindset. Right? An abundance mindset means that there's plenty in this world for everyone. And there's an opportunity for you to share, to contribute meaningfully, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. And that's often the students who end up on the student of distinction list. Then the scarcity mindset is there is just not enough in life, and I need to hoard everything that I have, not share. And we don't want you to live that way. But I am understanding the fact that in life, there's both. I love to live life abundantly, and I want you to be able to live life abundantly, to have great opportunities and all of that. But we also know that there is scarcity in terms of opportunities to attend colleges, military academies, to be employed at different jobs and occupations. And so the question becomes, what are you going to do to set yourself apart? And I know that's a long time away for you, right? You're going to be ninth graders next year. You have a long time to go, but it doesn't hurt to start thinking about this. Because there are, when I've walked around and I've spoken to some of you, and as I look around, there are endless opportunities for you, okay? But you have to set yourself up for success. There are students in their senior year, they're going to apply for military academies, and you're going to ask me for a letter of recommendation. I've written them. Some students have gotten in, others have not. You need to make sure that you are making yourself stand out. So this morning for the announcement, I mentioned that today is the first day of February. First day of February, second day of the second semester. And we are a month into 2023. How many of you have kept your New Year's resolutions, right? If you made them at all. 90%, statistically, 90% of people have already quit on their New Year's resolutions, okay? And we're only a month into the year. Don't be part of that 90%. This is what I told them. If you want to be like everybody else, then you're like 90% of the people who've already quit on their goals. Be uncommon. Okay, you want to start working, preparing yourself. And as much as I'm standing up here saying, you definitely have to earn your grades, you have to earn the credits toward graduation, and it requires work. Nobody can magic it upon you. Nobody can give it to you. Nobody can hand it to you. And because you just can't fake those kind of things. However, you are going to have fun in high school too. You're in the cafeteria, everyone loves to laugh and joke with their friends. You're going to have opportunities for performances, to participate in extracurricular activities. If you're into drama, the musical, sports, athletics, you're going to have a great time with those things. We have a lot of things that you can have fun with, and you will have fun. You just need to be able to balance that fun with responsibility. All right? Because the questions that I get that first go to our guidance counselors and then come to me are things like, can I drop this class? And that's a big thing that, I have conversations with the parents about. Sometimes it's a question of, is it an issue of skill or is it an issue of will, right? And a mindset of minimalism or mediocrity, just doing the minimum, is not going to get you to live that abundant mindset. And so I want to encourage you, dream big, prepare for it, know that you will have opportunities to have fun, but you also have to work hard and earn your credits and your grades here at the high school, okay? We're all rooting for you. There's gonna be a lot of people here that are gonna be cheering you on. You'll hear it from me all the time. I say it every day. We love and believe in you. Let's make it a great day and be your best self, all right? It's a journey, but nobody can do it for you, okay? All right, so those are some of the notes that I took. Let's go on to questions. You look them up.
Yes, I don't think there's any questions on the chat. Does anybody have any questions? I'm also gonna be lingering, so if you have any questions that you want to talk privately about, I can also answer those as well. Okay, I really want to thank you guys for coming out tonight and investing in your student future. One of the really, really important key components of the child success is our relation that we have with the parents and guardians. So really thank you guys for coming out here and spending your time listening to me. I know some of it's a little dry, but it's really important. Ninth grade is such an important year. It's a new building. It is a transition year. And it's the first year that they see how the high school works. As Mr. Wilder says, we work very differently than the middle school when it comes to promotion and graduation and things like that. So I appreciate you all being here and thank you guys so much for listening. And like I said, if you have any questions at all, I'll be here. So feel free to come up and chat with me, okay? I love meeting all of you guys. Thank you.
Nice job.